Hey, welcome back. So, went up north yesterday and did a little bit of wheeling in the snow. Well, a little bit of snow that I could find, and got into a little bit of mud. Nothing too bad, but I did air down. And when I was airing back up, the little compressor that I have, this little one here, it took forever to air back up. The first tire, when I connected it, turned it on, and it shuts off automatically when it reaches the PSI that you set it to. So first tire took 13 minutes and 11 seconds, and then basically once it shut off, I just hit the lap timer on my phone and I moved it, to the next tire, so on and so forth. So the second one was 14 minutes and 38 seconds after that. Third one was 15 minutes 27 seconds after that, and the last tire was 15 minutes after that, for a total of 58 minutes and 17 seconds to air up my tires from 18 psi back to 40 on all four. That's an hour of my day lost, right? So the tires that I'm running are the Goodyear Wrangler 265 75 R16s. Not sure that brand makes a difference, but there you go for a frame of reference. But that's what it's taken to do that. So a buddy of mine was getting rid of a Smittybilt compressor. It's the 5.6 CFM one, and I know that a lot of folks don't like the proprietary connectors on that. So I'm running a little bit of an experiment here, since I have the time that it took me to air up, running each individual tire with the small compressor. It was a cheap one, like $25 on Amazon. I'll link it below for anybody that just needs a cheapie to get by. It's definitely gotten me by. It does the job, but it just takes a lot longer than it should. So I wanted something that was a little bit better, that was going to work a little bit faster. I don't know that this one's necessarily going to work that much faster, as you can only push so much air through the valve core, but what it does give me the ability to do is run all four tires at the same time. So I went over to Harbor Freight and I picked up a bunch of airline, some fittings, connections, and everything. So we're going to run a little test, and I'm going to try and see how long it takes me to air down using the Grit Performance tool that I absolutely love. It's the one where it's got the gauge included in it. You screw it onto your valve stem, it removes the valve core, and then you can actually slide back the tool and it'll air down, and then you can slide it forward when you get to the air that you want, or the pressure that you want, tighten it down, and be good to go from there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to see how long that takes, and then I'm going to see how long it takes to air back up all four tires with the Smittybilt compressor, running each individual tire in its factory configuration. And then I'm going to go ahead and run the adapter and see if we can do the all four tires at the same time and see how long that takes, and then I'll come back and I'll give you guys an update with all those numbers. All right, so we deflated all the tires back down to 18 psi with the Grit Performance tool. And the first one took 2 minutes and 1 second, second one, minute 54, third one, 2:01, fourth one, 2:01, for a total of 7 minutes and 56 seconds. So I will now use the Smittybilt. It's the model 2781. We can go ahead and use that one. I'll get it connected, and we'll air them all back up to 40 psi using the same time-lapse method that I used with the lap timer and everything to inflate with using the other one, and we'll see what that's like in the factory configuration. All right, so we just finished airing back up with the Smittybilt 2781 model compressor there. So first tire took 3 minutes 46 seconds. second tire 3 minutes and 4 seconds, third 3 minutes 54 seconds, and the fourth one 3 minutes and 22 seconds for a total time of 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Couple of things that I like about it is it didn't get real hot, definitely ran fast. A couple things I didn't like about it, I had to go get my regular gauge out of the glove box. The gauge that's on the compressor itself didn't seem to be very accurate. So I'll try and get a shot here. So it's got kind of PSI in the inside, on the outside, and then bar on the inside. And you would run it up to, like I would run it to 40 PSI on the first one, and when I took it off, it was only at like 37. So then I ran it up to 45, 47 PSI, took it off, and it was at almost 50 on the gauge. So then I had to let air out. So that's probably why the first one was quite a bit longer than a few of the others. The end for it screws on also, which is kind of a pain. You got to screw it on and screw it off, and then as you're screwing it off, you got to let the compressor run so you're not losing a bunch of air. But that was kind of a pain also. So what I'm going to do is I'll go over and show you just in a second here. I'm going to reconfigure the hose, and we're going to try it again. So we'll turn around here and show you how I'm going to reconfigure it. So right now, the line that comes out of the Smittybilt here just has this kind of proprietary end on it. Everybody says if you get rid of this end and attach some of the other stuff, it's a lot better. So we're gonna pull this end off of it, and then I'm gonna use one of these barb fittings with the screw on end, and we're gonna do this push to click one. I just picked this one up from Home Depot. I wanna say it was like $7. Then I do have the line here to run some extensions, but for this, I am going to have to use the line here, and then I'm going to utilize this one. This is just a Merlin. It's from Harbor Freight, dual head air chuck valve inflator gauge, but it also has the button to deflate, so I'll be able to check the air pressure where it's at and let a little bit out if I need to. For now, we're just going to run this end on it, and I'm just going to do the single tires the same way. I'm not going to air down all of them again. I am just going to do probably 2 of them just to kind of get an idea of what it's like moving between them, and then we can get an idea from there. All right, so I have reconfigured the end of the Smittybilt line to accept just a quick coupler here. These are the style that locks open, so I can use it if I'm real close. Let's see if I can do this one here. If I'm close to the compressor, I can do it just the one. Just snap it in there, and I can just use the one airline. If I'm further away, I have the airline here. This is a 50-foot 3/8 line. Eventually, I'm going to cut this up and turn it into a 4-corner one. I couldn't do it today though. I had to order some parts, and it's going to be a few days before they'll be here. So we're going to reinflate the tires now, each individual tire using this system and with the compressor with the updated end and the extension line, and then we'll get some times on that and see if it's any better. All right, so we finished everything out here. A couple things that I wanted to go over. The inflate with the Smittybilt with the modified couplers didn't make nearly as big of a difference as I thought it would. Definitely made a pretty good difference though. So originally, with it just in its stock configuration, total time was 14 minutes and 5 seconds to inflate all 4 tires from 18 psi back to 40. And with the modified couplers and the long airline, it was first tire was 3 minutes 3 seconds, second 2 minutes 15 seconds, third 2:47, fourth 2:23. So total time of 10 minutes and 28 seconds. So definitely shaved almost 4 minutes off. So not too bad at all. So going over some final numbers here. Basically, if you were to just use your air gauge and deflate yourself all the way down around just using your standard gauge that you would like check your tire pressure with, it would take you 11 minutes 36 seconds roughly to air it down. Now if you use just the inexpensive Amazon compressor like I have, that compressor was about $30. Like I said, last time I used it, which is the 5th time I've used it, it took me almost an hour. It was 58 minutes that it took me to air back up. So total cost on that was like $32, obviously plus tax. If there's any shipping, I'm not going to include that. Everybody's got to pay tax and shipping. So, for $32 you can get out on the trail. Just depends on how much time you want to spend airing up and airing down if you're going to choose to do that. So what I'm going to call is I'll call that the basic option. What I'm going to call as the better option is to use, like the grip performance tool like we did to air down. So that one took about 7 minutes and 56 seconds to air down. And then with just the Smittybilt compressor, it took us about 14 minutes and 5 seconds to air back up. So, but large cost comparison too, right? So between the gauge at $29.99 and the compressor at $163.80 on Amazon right now, I don't know what it would be when you're watching this. So that total cost before tax and shipping was $193.79. So obviously that's quite a big cost difference to get you in a better situation. What I'm going to call the better plus, I guess, would be to have the same gauge to air down, so same time, 7 minutes 56 seconds, same compressor to air up, but with the couplers, the line, and all of the different air delivery valve, I don't know what else to call it, the different air chuck on there with the built-in gauge. Those combined were another $52.44, plus tax and all that. So that takes it up to $246.23, but that also got my air up time down to 10 minutes and 28 seconds. So waiting for some parts to come in. I had to order them online to do the 4-way, and then we'll do an update on that and see what we can do for the 4-way air up and the 4-way air down, and if there's any time differences there, and I'll give an update on that. So that'll be another video though, so keep an eye out for that. And then eventually I want to solid mount the compressor and all the lines and kind of make it a built-in onboard air system. So we'll do that probably in like a part 3. So thanks for watching. Again, you can follow me on social media at suits_2to_sunsets. And again, here on YouTube. Thanks.